guys, welcome to another Snobby Beer review. I'm X-Bang as always, and we are joined once again with Michael Leonardi and Joshua Hatfield. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Mike was gracious enough to share this beer, and I'm really excited to try it. This is Upland Brewing Company's Gilgamesh. Now, this is a sour beer that is aged in bourbon barrels, which is quite unusual. I mean, Upland, they're a very small brewery in Indiana, but they're kind of known for their lambics and their sour beers. So we're probably in for a real treat here, I can imagine. But honestly, let's just get right into it.
Let's get into it.
I do get a little bit of funkiness in there. Not too much of that like sourness or that fruity kind of character.
Yeah. It's just like a subtle sour.
Yeah. There might be a little oak, but not
very faint.
Bourbon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sweating. I get a little alcohol in the nose too. I mean, this is like 10.5% or something like that, so.
See, I'm missing that alcohol.
Quite honestly, there's not really that much aroma on here. I mean, there is, but nothing that's like
stands out.
Yeah. It's sort of just like a balanced, smooth.
Cheers.
My first impression, I think it's really good.
Same.
Very good.
Very balanced. It's not overly sour, not overly
Not at
funky, and not overly bourbony. Maybe fruitiness.
But I feel like at the same time it's balanced out by that subtle bourbon flavor from the barrels. Like a lot of the bourbon barrel beers out there nowadays, you've got the overwhelming boozy vanilla flavor that comes from it. But this, it's really like a subtle, almost smooths that sourness out a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely a taste that just kind of lingers right on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
Right behind the teeth.
Yeah.
The alcohol flavor doesn't really come in towards the end though. Kind of once it's towards the back of the mouth, like that sours kind of die down a little bit. Then you feel that heat go down your throat and into your chest.
Yeah.
It's almost equivalent to what a winter warmer will leave behind after you take a sip.
Yeah. How would you guys describe the mouthfeel on this one?
It's dry. It's got that dry sourness to it, but for 10.5%, like you said earlier, it does go down extremely well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I taste a lot of, not a lot, but more carbonation than most sours have. And it's dry, but not as dry as other sours.
Right.
And for being a high alcohol content beer, this is something that's very drinkable, like Maya said.
It's honestly almost a little too drinkable
Yeah,
for being, as high alcohol as it is. As for the score, Mike, what are you thinking on this?
I'm going to have to go with a 5. Just the overall drinkability. The 10.5%, I mean, it gets me as well. I like the higher alcohol content beers, but the ones that don't taste higher alcohol content.
Yeah.
Just the flavor overall it's stupendous.
Yeah. Josh, what are you thinking?
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 as well. It's very complex. A little bit of flavor indifference involved. I guess that probably comes from the barrel aging portion of it more than anything. And I do like myself a higher alcohol content beer as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing how smooth it is.
Exactly.
And just get that really good flavor on the back of your tongue and the warming sensation later on. So.
Yeah. As for my score, 5 out of 5. This is really, really excellent. This is pretty much like a masterpiece of a beer, in my opinion. It's not uncommon for sours to be aged on oak, but it is uncommon for them to be aged in bourbon barrels. And honestly, like, that doesn't really sound like a great combination, like bourbon and like sour beer. But in this case, it's absolutely flawless. Just complexity coming out of the wazoo. Smooth as hell. That wraps it up for Upland's Gilgamesh. This is a hard beer to get. I live a state away from Upland, and it's still hard for me to get. So I mean, you're definitely gonna have to trade for this unless you live in, Bloomington or Indianapolis. Which if you are, then by all means get this beer. But do what you gotta do to get it. Trade for it. You guys know what to do. Grab a beer. Leave me a comment. Guys, cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you for bringing this.
Thank you, Michael.